And today I have my new toy. So the sewing machine, which was my last big ass purchase, its full sale price is about $1,000. It's like on sale price was only $500. This thing was $530 for me. It had gone up by about 30 since I originally decided to purchase it, which is just, yeah. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass. But I finally have myself a new air compressor. Now, my old one had a very interesting issue once upon a time. Yeah. So I bought myself these. Now, if you're wondering why, well, if you've never used an air compressor, you probably won't understand the reason why I need one of these guns. But yeah, my last one kind of went, well, you can see what's missing. How that happened or why, I don't actually know, but yeah. So, it's been about a day, and I found this. Turns out that there's a hole in the bag, and this fell through. I didn't see it, so yeah, I got a wrench. Now, let's try to get these set up. And before, if you ask, no, these aren't the actual prices I paid. I think they were a lot, yeah. So the place that I was, I bought these from were trying to get rid of them. So they're a lot cheaper. Now this one is going to be hopefully very helpful. And this one, well, this one's going to be my more common use. I just hope that it doesn't like pop out on me like this one did. Now, I got these from somewhere else, and it looks like someone already opened them for something, so I don't know why, but that happened in store. Didn't actually check online on how to do this properly, so I'm sort of just winging it at this moment. Let's take the Teflon tape, and a couple of laps around. That. And again. Looks like I put the Teflon tape on the wrong direction. Oh well, let's get that nice and tight. There we go. Okay. That's that sorted. That can go back in the box. These can too. Oops. Now I gotta get myself up some B-roll footage, which will probably be after or before or whenever, because I'm gonna have to chop it up since I sort of screwed up putting these on. And for my old air compressor, I still have this. Now, yes, technically I could get away with using this, but what I've noticed is that for some reason the handle on here seems to like bend, which is just irritating. And because I'll be doing a lot of cleaning of electronics, I do have this air filter. The thing that pisses me off though is that for some reason I've lost the Teflon tape. So I won't be able to get this fully repaired, which is unfortunate. Still, with that said, this is the air compressor I went with this time. Initially, I believe it was a Ryobi that I purchased. That lasted for a couple of years. I came across someone who had access to a similar one. Theirs blew up, but didn't tell me why it stopped working. Well, they told me it stopped working, didn't explain why. And I later discovered that it turns out the motor explodes. So I'm hoping that in something like a Rolain here, the motor doesn't explode randomly. So yeah. Now the other thing is I should have probably double checked to see whether or not I'm able to run the machine using an external motor, but I'm hoping it doesn't ever come to the replace part. Also, don't bother going around and asking about getting like a soft starter for an air compressor, because I tried to do that and a number of the businesses around my area were like, you want a what for a what now? I swear I sometimes ask for the weirdest things. For a lot of people you might be thinking, and I did actually get this from people when I was mouthing off to them about myself getting an air compressor for home. Why would you need it? Well, I live in an area where there is a shit ton of dust. Highway. And I tend to have issues with my vacuum cleaner, which I currently am since I haven't been able to clean it out for a couple of years. I have dragged it over to some place where I've been able to use an air compressor to clean it out, but in general I don't have that ability. This is going to solve that. But if I was just buying it to clean out an appliance, you know, $530 air compressor, probably a little much. Not to mention the tank capacity. However, I do also use this for cleaning out sewing machines. And I do believe I used my old one for that once or twice, but because things have gotten a little bit more advanced for me, yeah, I'm finding I need something like this a little bit more now. And not having one's just a pain in the ass. The other thing is that computers. This makes cleaning out computers just so much easier when they, you know, are in an area where there's a lot of dust. Now, that's all well, good and true, but I do have more. So I would like to get into airbrushing, and that's about $200 to buy the airbrush and some, you know, equipment to play with. I've been able to play with an airbrush somewhere else, and it's something I'd like to do a little bit more, but I'd want to have my own like little dedicated spot, and I can do that where I am. This can also power it. I mean, it's like overkill, but whatever. And when I say airbrush, I'm talking about the miniature ones, not the big ass type that you use for like a car. The other thing is I want a brad nailer. And electronic ones are, yeah, okay, but for some weird reason, I'm obsessed with using air with it. I don't know, just me. So yeah, this probably going to get a lot more use than the sewing machine I purchased. With that big ass explanation out of the way, because I'm excited about having this thing finally, time to give this a good open. Now, usually I'd be using my little knife here, but, and that was almost a boo-boo, I got my hands on this. I literally found it on the side of the road, and I thought, well, let's give it a try. It's been sitting in my room for, you know, who knows how long. And it does boggle my mind about how this is going to work. So let's give it the college try. In. Ooh, that's actually kind of smooth. Okay. Not bad. Oh, that's nice. Let's see what we got. $50 years, blah, blah, blah. And that's not been filled in yet. What can happen? Failure to properly regulate drain. Avoid it. Drain tanks every 4 hours of use. If the tank develops a leak, replace it immediately with a new air tank. I'm assuming that's going to be a little easier than with like the Ryobi stuff. Your air compressor is not safe for breathing Yeah, I don't intend to breathe with this thing. Moving parts, safety risk. Oh, so for running it, I got this. Although glasses is going to be something else. Low speed, file free. Okay, so it's got an automatic low. I wonder if that'll save it from blowing up like the last one did. But then again, the last one I had was a cheap ass one. I think I spent like maybe $100 on it, so that might be why. Alright, so it's stating the only way to turn the machine off is, well, safely is by using the switch and not the power outlet. Adjust the regulator knob. Hopefully that doesn't break on this one like it did with the last one. Typical compressor design with pre-start check. Drain valve system. Check value. Press the switch release. Operate in clean, dry, well ventilated area. Alright, so I have to open a window when I'm using this thing then. I'll have to take a look at the intake element. Power cord, 50 Hertz. That's American, not Australian. Do not use a generator as a power source. Oh, okay. So, interesting. I think a couple of YouTubers were talking about using this thing on site in remote spots using a generator. Yeah. Loctite. Maintain rubber. I should probably look to see if I can get replacements of that. Drain moisture tank. Oh, it's got a moisture... Oh wait, no, that's the moisture drain on the actual tank itself. Well, I do empty that every time I use it, so... Operations... Wear eye protection, inspect the bolts. Just the roof to continuous use. So every 40 minutes per hour. What's this? Rated for 70% duty cycle. If the operator is more than 40 minutes per hour, the motor will overheat and cause the internal overlay shutdown. Alright, so yeah, 40 minutes, stop it. But that's continuous anyway. Okay, I don't intend to use this on top of a mountain, but that's interesting to know. Never use soap and water to check for leaks. Never clean filters with flammable solvents. I'll take that into account. Retorque head bolts only after pump is cooled. Never weld on tank. Okay. Tank certified and inspected annually. So every year this is going to get looked at. Troubleshooting. Now I'll have to double check this, but I might need to break it. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, this thing looks way more serviceable than the last one I had. Sweet. But I'm hoping this thing will last for a very long time for me. Alright, what do we got? That's probably important for later. So I am partially excited. There we go. I'm assuming that is in the event that it's at a shop. Oof, that motor looks huge. It had air in there. Must have been from the test at the factory then. So where do you go? Before first start, remove the shipping plug and attach the screw. Alright, so this must be the air intake. Looks like it does open, but how? Ah, here we go. Screw intake in. Okay, done. So I keep all that. The label's starting to peel off. Now, how long is this cord? Maybe like a meter. I'm hoping that's going to fit. Okay, so first off, for me, that's pretty light to lift when it's not fully charged. And the side here, but there's no moisture. All right, that was referring to this, the bottom. Yeah, not bad. Ooh, I probably want to put something on that in case if I do bump it when it comes out. Okay. I will go do a little bit more research on this and hopefully later on get some footage of me using it for the first time. If not, yibbity yibba.